Good evening, everyone. You are welcome to this class. If you are joining, if you are joining, give us a thumb up. Let's see you. If you join us, give us a thumb up so that we. All right, you all are welcome. You all are welcome to today's class. I wish to ask, how was our last class? The last class we had, that was our first class. How was it? The class was recorded. If you were not able to join us that day, have you gone through it? Have you gone through the class? I don't know if you have any question regarding the class. You can still ask it the question here. You can still ask the questions here. Okay, so for today's class, we'll be starting now. Okay, so the issue with some people is that what they actually need is someone who can just tell them, see a stock to buy this stock, buy this one, but they don't want to learn for themselves. They don't want to know which one to buy and which one not to buy by themselves. They don't want to learn. They just want someone to tell them. They just want someone that have learned to tell them this one is the one to buy, but they don't want to learn so that they will know which one to buy. And that is a kind of mentality that we Nigerians have. We can't actually sit down to learn. We just want everything sharp, and after, when we encounter issues, we will find something to blame. So the best thing about the stock market is for you to learn about it, so that you will know what you are doing there. Like, I think the last thing that you should be ignorant about is whatever you are committing your money to. Whatever you are committing your money to is the last thing that you should be ignorant about. So everything that happens that you are committing your money into, you must learn in depth what it really entails. Okay? So, but some people what they need is just someone who can tell them, buy this stock, even though if they don't know what the stock is all about, they don't know the sector that the stock is under, what the company does. What they just want to hear is buy this stock, and they will start like buying. All they know is that it will appear in the portfolio, and whatever happens, they feel it is a financial advice. And the one thing that people don't actually understand is that it's only your financial advisor that has the right to tell you this is the stock to invest in. And some of our educator, let me say social media content creator who create content about stocks, they are victim of this. They like telling people to buy this stock. I don't know if it's because of ignorance of the case, or let me say of the fact, because I have been seeing many people, what they do is just to tell people to buy the stock, buy this one, sell this one, hold this one, which is not correct. Okay, so because this thing is actually what people are committing their money to, maybe you might think that is a small thing. You don't know that people are putting millions of naira in the stock market, and you are just giving someone advice sheepishly because you want to create content about stock market. Okay, and many people, we Nigerians, we fall victim of this. And even though it happens that these stock that they are telling you to buy, maybe most of them, because actually at times I look at the stock, most of them are like blue chips stock, companies that have established and like developed, they are very strong. So most of times is these blue chip stocks. But one thing about it is they tell you the stock is good. Yes, it's good, but they don't tell you when to buy. Because two things about stock is fundamental analysis, which is about the particular stock to buy, which stock to buy. Fundamental analysis is asking a question about which stock to buy, and technical analysis is a question of when to buy the stock. All right. So even though they told you that this stock is good, buy this one, have they told you when to buy it? That is the question. So to me, don't want to be a victim of that, and I don't want to be found in that basket. Okay, so that is why I don't do that, and that is why I feel like the best way is to educate you to know what best to do when you want to buy a stock, so you can do your analysis, then find a stock to buy. Now, what is the benefit of you knowing the stock that you are buying, you knowing the details of the stock market and the investment that you are into? Number one is that it's, even if the stock is performing badly, maybe you bought the stock and the stock started declining, you will have confidence because you have already researched about that stock and you find out that is good. So even if the stock is performing badly, you will know that this thing is momentary. It's just a temporal thing. At time it will do normal. You understand? So number one is it gives you the patience that even if the stock is maybe performing badly, you just know that, yeah, from the fundamental analysis I did uh, about this stock, it is very good. The company is stable, profitable, and efficient. So in that case, you will not fear, you will not panic, you will have patience because you have the conviction that it is good. So in that case, you will not panic much. So number one is that when you understand the stock that you are buying, not just someone telling you to buy a stock, when you understand the stock that you are buying, it will give you the patience even when the stock is not performing well, or when the stock is not maybe moving as you expected. Maybe you are thinking that this stock within 6 months it must have increased by 20%, but you find when you buy this when you bought the stock, you find out that the stock is moving sluggishly. If you truly understand the stock through your fundamental analysis, through the knowledge, if you are the person who actually understand the stock, you will be patient with it. And two is that you will not panic because you really understand it. See, one thing about knowledge is that it pursues fear. So fear is a kind of ignorance. If you don't know something, you find out that you'll be afraid. A kind of ignorance creates fear. So when you don't know about the stock, if just you collected random advice from social media and you bought the stock, when the stock is maybe performing somehow, you will start panicking. But when you understand it, you find out that you will not panic, because the knowledge that you have about the stock will clear the doubts that you might have about the particular stock. Okay, so two is that three is that it will give you the conviction that you already have, that the stock will perform well, will help you not to shake. Okay, to give you much conviction about the stock, and then you understand what you are doing in the stock market, you understand what the company does and what the company is doing, so you know clearly what you are into. So anything that you are committing your money into, you should understand it very well, not that somebody told you and you have not confirmed about that. So that is it. Now, I don't want to spend much time in this class. I just want to end everything, if possible, in 30 minutes or in 40 minutes time. And this is 11 minutes already. So I have like 20 minutes to summarize this class. It's gonna be brief. I'm gonna hit the points that I want to put here to share with you guys, and then we end the class for today. All right. So let's look into some of the official bodies that we can find in the stock market. The official body, the NGS body. Now let's see them and what they does. So we have here the NGS, the Nigerian Exchange Group. We have the stockbroker. We have different stockbroker. We have SEC, that is SEC, Security and Exchange Commission. Then we have the registrar. Also we have the CSCS. Okay, the NGS is just exchange. When you hear exchange, just know that it is a marketplace. So it's just a platform that's created a marketplace for stock to be traded, for stock to be bought and sold. So the NGS is the platform that provides the specs, the virtual specs for stock to be traded, that provide the marketplace and all its necessary that needs to be available. Okay, so that is for NGS. So they are the body that are in charge of the market. So then we have a stockbroker. A stockbroker is just like a middleman. What does a middleman do? What middleman does is that it just mediate you and the market. When you want to buy a stock, you give it order. That order is instruction. You instruct that middleman, please buy so stock, so unit, that is number of stock, then at a particular price, or you just tell it, buy it at the market price. Okay, so that is what a stockbroker is all about. It's just a middleman that mediates you in the market. So they help you to buy stock, they help to execute trade. Okay, so when we talk about the number 3 here is the Security and the Exchange Commission. The Security and Exchange Commission is like, let me say, a warehouse where your stocks are stored. Because you buy stock, you have the receipt. That thing you are seeing in your portfolio is just a receipt. Okay, you put your money into the company, they give you a kind of receipt so that you can know the volume that you have, the price that you bought it. This is like a record. Okay, they give you receipt, is like a record, a proof, evidence that you have this. So you invest your money into a company, they give you a kind of receipt. Then these stocks that you have bought, it is with the SEC. Okay, it is with the SEC. Now let's talk about the registrar. Registrar is like a bookkeeper, a record keeper. So every transaction that you are doing, they have the record, they keep the record. Every transaction that you are doing, they keep the record. They are like the bookkeeper a person that when you buy product and you want to store it, you will just meet them, they will just record it. Then when we talk about the CXCS, which is like a account number, when we are talking about stock, it's like a folder. It's like a folder that you have, which is where the information of your stocks going out or coming in pass through. So your CSCS is like your account number when compared to bank. Okay, so that is it. When we are talking about the bodies that regulate the markets, or the NGS official bodies, we have talked about one, the NGS, the Nigerian Exchange Group, the stockbroker, the SEC, which is the Security and Exchange Commission. We talk about the registrar, then the CSCS. Okay, now let's talk about how the stock market works. How the stock market works. How the stock market works. So there are things that affect the stock market, and that we we explain how it works. Okay, so number one is the behavior of investors. Investors are the buyers and the seller. So the behavior of buyers and sellers affects the market, the market. Okay, so when the buyers are much, when people are making much bids, when buyers are much, when demands are high, it seems that the price of the stock will go up. But when the sellers are much, the offers are much, so the supply is very high, the stock price will be going down. All right, because in normal economics and I think economics and marketing that we all pass through in even just secondary school. In secondary school, especially in XX1, even if you are not a business or art student, you must have passed through uh, economics and marketing in XS1. So it implies a so when there is much supply, the price will be going down. When there is high supply, there is no buyer, but the sellers are much. So the sellers will be looking for who to buy, and that they will find someone to buy it cheaper so that they can sell it and go their way. So what's affects the market is the behavior of the investors, which are the buyers and the sellers. The next one here is the company's performance. The company performance. When the company is performing well, the stock tends to move. The stock price moves higher. The stock price increases. Okay, but when the performance of the company is very down, that it is depreciating, maybe the management or the growth of the company is depreciating, the stock price will be going down. All right, so we have talked about number one, which is the behavior of the investors. Investors are the buyers and the seller. Then number two, which we just concluded now, is the company's performance. Okay, then the next one is event and news or report about the stocks. So event or news is like what we just recently experienced about the oil and gas sector. The oil and gas sector, which happened about Iran and the US war. That thing affects the oil and gas sector. The price of oil started skyrocketing and all of that, and that will also affect the stock price. All right. So when the price in the actual sense, in the physical marketplace is actually going high, you find out that people will be tuning in to buy the stock because they will know they will make a lot of profit, or it will cause losses of the particular stock. All right. So Then even in this scenario, I think is one of the things that helps some of the stocks to rise, because it happens that our local companies that distribute and refine oil, they're kind of making much profit. You understand? So because of the low supply of oils around the world, it makes our own, because we have our own oil well, and we have our refinery. It's kind of push our own stocks higher. All right. So um what makes the next thing is what makes stocks price to rise or fall, which I have said all these things can make stocks price to rise or fall. Number one is the behavior of investors, the company's performance, events or news or reports about the company. When you are talking about the report about the company, it's actually like last week that some banks, I don't want to mention the name, reported about their revenue, or what they call it, about they are not paying dividend and all that. You find out that the people started selling off the stock, and the stock started depreciating in price at the marketplace. Okay, so that is about event, news, and the reports, how they makes the stock price to rise or fall. Okay, so I have talked about the roles of stockbroker, which is just to execute trade, okay. So you give them instruction, they follow that instruction. When they get to the market, if you make something like limit order, a stop order, even market order, when they can't meet up with the instruction you give to them, they will come back. That is your stock. The order will not be executed. All right. So that is for that. Now let's look into something that is very important, because this will bring us to the reality of investing. Why do we invest? Or let me say, why should we invest? Why should we invest, or why do we invest? Okay, so let's get this. Why do we invest? Now, number one here is because you believe in a particular company and you want to support them to grow or expand. That is the first thing. You believe in a particular company. You saw a particular company and you like them, like the business, and you believed in them that they can grow, and then you invest your money so that they can use your money to expand their business or grow their business, so that they can make profit and also share the profit with you. That is the first thing. When you understand this better, you will understand what is investing. Because most of the times we just think that it's about making money, you making money. You are thinking just about your own self, but you don't know that what investing really means is that you are giving your money into a particular company so that they can grow their business or expand their business with the money you are investing into the company. Okay, and then they make profits and then share part of the profits with you according to the percentage of the money you give to them. Okay, so that is about dividend yield, when you're talking about percentage of dividend or even capital appreciation. So number two here, why we invest or why we should invest, is to participate in the economic development and financial empowerment of our country. So this kind of company, we are just trying to engage in the economic development of our country, and that is the need for you to invest in your country stocks. Because when you are giving your money to other countries, maybe US stocks or UK stocks. I'm not saying, I'm not telling you not to invest in all this, but I'm just telling you why it is preferred you invest in Nigerian stocks. Okay? Why you should invest in Nigerian stocks. Okay? So when you are giving your money into these stocks, you are just helping them with the money so that they can grow, and you are building the economy of the country. You understand this? So because this company pay taxes and other ways that they affect the economy of the country. So when you are investing in this company, you are participating in the economic development and financial support of the country that has the stock. Okay, so and that is why it is preferred that you invest in the stock of your own country. I'm not, like I have said, I'm not just telling you not to invest in other stocks. At times, some of these US stocks or UK stocks or other stocks can be very profitable. But I'm just telling you for the fact in these 2 points. Number one is that you are believing in the company and you are supporting them to grow. Two is that you are participating in the economic development and financial empowerment of the country. Okay, so number three here, why you should invest or why we invest is to stabilize your finance. To stabilize your finance. It's like a kind of, what they call it, is it anchor? When we talk about sheep, we talk about is it anchored? Is it anchor? Something like that. That people throw down in the ocean so that it can stabilize the ship from capsizing. Okay, so when you invest, you are just stabilizing your finance. You are stabilizing your finance. You are trying to kind of have a solid, a reserved part of your money that you can access anytime. So you are trying to give structure to your finance. So when it goes into investment, you stabilize, you stabilize it, and then you spend some, because at the end of the day, when money comes in, you must invest, you must save, and you must spend. Okay, so but when you invest, you will try to stabilize the money, all right, to stabilize your finance. So the next one here, the reason we should invest, or the reason we invest, is to make profit, to make profit, to make profit. So we invest also to make profit, for passive income, especially for those who are looking for dividend. Passive income, maybe we are planning your retirement, and you want to invest in stocks, and from earlier, even if you are in your you are less than even 20, or within your 20, now the stock will be very cheap. It's not even when you get to 30 or when you get to 40 you start investing. You can still buy the stock at a very cheap price now, and when you get to your, maybe your 60, 70, you'll be getting passive income as dividend for all the stocks that you invested in. All right, so we invest to make profits, we invest for passive income, and then the next one, which is the number 5 here, is to multiply and protect our finance. When you invest, you are multiplying your finance. Like there are some volatile stocks now that are very deep. These stocks, when they will rise, they will be up to 1,000 naira, but as we are talking now, they are around 130 and 80 naira. One is around 80 naira and one is around 130. So check, when you invest in this period and the stock price rises, price rises to 1,000 naira, that means you have multiplied it many times. And when you check many stocks from last year December, you find out that many stocks have risen about many times. they have double. So you multiply and also protect your money. Why protecting your money is that protecting your money while investing in stock is like stock is not like all these forex trading that your money can disappear or betting. So that is why betting in the forex trading is very different from stock. When you buy a stock, even if that stock depreciates, you will still have that number of units, and whenever the stock rises again, you have your money and your profit. All right. So the next one is to reach a financial goal. To reach a financial goal, as I have said, the two reasons for investing in stock is number one, to reach a financial goal. Maybe you want to save a kind of 2 million naira for something next year. Instead of saving, maybe a kind of person who always save 5,000 naira each time, instead of putting that money at a place, maybe locking it in the bank for saving it, you put it in stocks. Why? You put it in blue chips stock. Let me just put it this way. You put it in blue chip stocks so that when you're putting that 5,000 naira, it will also be increasing as the investment is rising. Okay, so that is for reaching a financial goal. Then the next one is to build financial discipline. When you start to invest and when you start saving and investing, you are building financial discipline, and it's very important in your financial life. All right, if you are a kind of person who wants to build wealth, you must build financial discipline. All right, so investing help you to build financial discipline. Now the last one here is to secure or prepare for the future. To secure a future or to prepare for future, you will invest so that when it goes to the future, maybe in 10 years, in 20 years to come, you must be enjoying the profits of your investment, and your investments must have grown, and you will utilize it to the best benefit of that period, or to the reason you invested the money. Now let's understand, or let's get this. Why should you invest in Nigerian stocks? Why should you invest in Nigerian stocks? Why should you invest in Nigerian stocks? Are we getting this? If you can hear me, say hi, type hi. If you can hear me, type hi. So why should you invest in Nigerian stocks? One, to help our home companies, to help our local companies. So when you are investing in Nigerian stocks, you are helping the local companies that we have here. We are helping them to grow instead of helping international companies. Instead of helping international companies to maybe maintain or to grow their own economy and country, you will rather put the money here so that maybe if you're abroad, so that whenever you come back, you will see that the country is actually developing, not putting your money in the other people's economy or companies outside the country, and they will be using it to develop their own country. All right, so that is why you should invest in Nigerian stocks. The second reason you should invest in Nigerian stock is to help in our economic development, to help in the economic development of our country, and also for financial empowerment of the companies. All right, then the third reason, which is for you, is for you to, because you understand the company, the system, and the economy. Get it? When you are investing in international companies or international stocks, you might not actually understand the economy which the company is working on. You might not understand the company very well, their language, how they run the business. Okay, so you might not understand few things, how they manage the company, because these are foreign companies. But when you invest in Nigerian companies, You will understand the company very well, how they do the business. You understand? So this is a kind of fundamental analysis, because you understand the business very well, so that you will put your money and you understand how your money is going. And two is you understand the economy which the company is working on, and also you understand the system which the company is working on or with. All right. The fourth one, which is also at your own advantage, is that a kind of all these Nigerian companies, they are kind of new. Let me say the NGS market is a kind of a new exchange which still have bigger future. It have big future, because now let me tell you something. The NGS market will be start to be very volatile. It will start to become very volatile. It's coming very volatile. Why? Many people are trooping into the market because of the Dangote refinery IPO that is making wave. Many people are becoming to the realization of the NGS market. Okay, the NGS stock market, or the NGS Nigerian Exchange Group. So it's a kind of new. People are just noticing it, and for that, it has a greater future. To have a greater future. When you while you are investing now, just understand that the company that you are investing on, they still have a better future. Why? Many people are trooping in, and as many people are trooping in to buy stocks, to buy and hold stocks, when there are a lot of buyers, there will be much demand, and much demand will cause the price of stocks to go higher, thereby you making a lot of profit as a first time investor. Okay, so the NGS is still new, and it has a kind of greater future, a big future. Okay, so these are the reasons that you should invest in stocks, in the Nigerian stocks. All right. The last thing we have here, because I actually said that this class will last just 40 minutes. Okay, so the last thing I would like you to understand here is why companies sell their shares, why companies sell stocks, why companies list their business, or why companies list their business in the NGS market to sell their stocks. The key answer to this is they are just is a kind of means for sourcing for funds. When company needs when a company needs money to expand their business, or grow their business, or stabilize their business, they get to list it in the NGS or the stock market, any stock market, so that they can get investors. You are giving them your money, so they can get investors that will put in their money into their company, and they will use the money to grow, expand, and stabilize the business. All right. So as I said, this class will be ending here, and I want to make it open that our further classes will be for those that will be in my private mentorship class. Another class that we'll be having, if you want to proceed with this mentorship, you have to pay for my mentorship class. You have to pay for my mentorship class, because last time we discussed a lot, and I know that I have helped you. And then this is our second class for free for the community. All right. So if you want to continue with this mentorship, my private mentorship is for you, where I can give you further and deep attention and guidance, clear strategies, deep information and knowledge. Let me just tell you, what I'm just sharing here is just like a free float knowledge. I just consider it as like something free, But when you get my mentorship, I will give you the key, the in-depth knowledge that you need to know to also have about the stock market and the investment. All right. So uh in next classes we'll be talking about how to make money from stock investment, how to make money from stock investment. um we'll be talking about investment strategy, proving stock investment strategy. We're talking about risk management measures that involves in stock management, because at times there is no how you can be 100% accurate while investing or as an investor. So you also need to know how to manage risk when it comes, because it is inevitable. Quote me anywhere, risk in the stock market is inevitable. So when it comes, you need to know how to manage it, or the strategies to use to manage it. All right. So the next thing we'll be talking about is a kind of mindset for surviving or winning in the stock market. The kind of mindset you should have for you to survive or win in the stock market. Also, we'll be talking about common mistakes that beginners, new investors make in the stock market. Okay, I will teach this, I will explain this very well so that you will not fall victim of those mistakes. All right. So we'll also be sharing how to recover stocks. Maybe you bought stocks maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and you don't actually have access to it. How you can recover it? Or maybe your parents bought stocks, and I can guide you, teach you how to recover the stocks and have control and access to them, full access to them. Also, how to claim your unclaimed dividend. Maybe if your parents bought stocks or you bought stocks long ago and they have been paying dividend and you have not been receiving the dividend, I can also teach you how to claim them. All right. So the next thing is how to recover your stocks if maybe your broker crashed. If your broker folds or crashed, this thing is reality. There is one broker that somebody chatted me that he bought a stock about 5 years ago. That should be 8 years ago, because there are many people. I'm trying to be accurate with this particular information, because many people have been chatting me to help them recover the stock, and I have been doing that. All right. So this particular person chatted me that he bought stocks 8 years ago, and the person that helped him to buy the stock, then he can't access the person again. So he wants to have control or access to the stock. Okay. So when I researched about the stockbroker is no more. Then I got to find out that it is already folding. And then when you contact them, they will direct you to the CSCS. All right. So for that, I will also help you. If your stockbroker crashed or they have folded, I will help you to recover your stock or to transfer it to another broker. All right. So the next thing is also how to transfer your stock from one broker to another one. All right. Maybe you want to transfer your stock from one broker to another one. Then the next thing we should also be teaching in the private mentorship, or that I have been teaching, because some people that have registered or have enrolled into the mentorship, I have been having class with them. So we also teach you the kind of money to invest in the stock market. The kind of money to invest in the stock market. So with all this, how to recover your stocks if your broker crashed, how to recover your old stock, maybe your parents bought stocks, all of these we'll be treating them in the private mentorship class. So comment if you are interested in this, put your comments below, or get back to the WhatsApp group, get my number and DM me, and we will start the enrollment, you will be enrolled immediately. So but if you are just seeing this video, if you are not into the WhatsApp group, the WhatsApp community, you can put it in the comment section. Just comment interested and I will get to reply to you and I will take it up from there. Thank you and have a nice day.